What the fuck is popping, you luxurious, luscious laxatives? It's time for more reading with Terry Crustacean. Now here we go. Non-traditional relationships. Let's see how long this one is. Oh, it's fairly long. This will be a good read. We've all seen traditional relationships between man and Bigfoot, man and dinosaur, or man and billionaire jet plane. But for some couples, this standard dynamic is not just enough to maintain this lifestyle that they crave. During the process of induffert, you and your partner should consider whether a traditional relationship is the right fit for you, or if the two of you should consider one of the many non-traditional arrangements. Open relationships. An open relationship is one where both of the partners have decided to allow the other to seek sexual satisfaction from outside sources. In these relationships, communication is paramount. Many people find the jealousy of knowing that their partner is with another simply too much to bear. But if ample communication is applied regarding boundaries within the primary couple, then these open relationships can actually be quite fulfilling and long-lasting. To avoid a toxic third, simply keep in mind that all previous lessons about dating and commitment that we have already discussed and applying them to your own new partner. In addition, I highly recommend keeping dinosaur bad boys out of open relationship settings. These particular creatures have proven time and time again that they cannot behave responsibly in an open relationship setting. Submissive. Believe it or not, some people want to have relationships made entirely out of getting yelled at and called mean names. So mostly this is called BDSM. Once again, open communication is the key for this type of relationship. There is a big difference between a nice spank and a spank with tears. And if these two are mixed, then it is very important to leave the situation. Of course, when things get heated within the bedroom, it can sometimes be hard to tell which kind of spanks are happening. This is why having a safe word is so important. More importantly, however, your safe word must be agreed upon by all parties involved. You'd hate to get into a situation where your word no longer works because one of you doesn't remember what the safe word actually is. In some extreme cases, men experimenting as a submissive have been tickled for the months, even years, because they forgot the safe word. Be careful. Dominant. In a submissive relationship, the counter role is played by someone known as a dominant. This partner is the one in charge of spanking or tickling the submissive when they have been bad, and while it may sound like a bit of fun on paper, it is actually quite a bit of work. The most important things to remember as a dominant is to respect your lover's boundaries. This means listening for the safe word, as well as looking for any serious signals that your partner might actually no longer enjoy being tickled or spanked. Ghost. Ghost relationships are incredibly different, but also very, very rewarding for those willing to stick with it, despite the obvious restrictions that are known to hinder interdimensional communication. As with all creatures mentioned previously in this book, ghosts can vary very greatly in personality, and no two ghosts are exactly the same. However, there are still some general character traits, that can be applied to most spooky phantoms. I did not include ghosts as a separate category in my approach chapter because despite all surface appearance, a ghost is not actually a separate species of creature. Rather, ghosts are defined as a variation on an already existing creature, much like mummy or a vampire. In other words, a dinosaur, Bigfoot, unicorn, or living object can all exist in ghost form. Even humans have been known to become ghosts, although this is much, much rarer. Ghosts are created when a creature dies with unfinished business, as described in my best-selling short story, Bigfoot Pirates Haunt My Balls. I'm going to read that one as well. That's the next one that I'm probably going to read. Sorry for breaking the tension. I just wanted to talk. I'm very sorry. Now, this is probably a quote from one of the books that looks good. I'm going to skip it because I don't want to spoil that kind of stuff. It genuinely looks good. While this tale describes a spiritual ball possession, most ghosts go about dealing with their unfinished business in a much less aggressive manner, content in spending their days as haunts in a particular location that could one day reveal the true nature of their afterlife needs. Because of this aversion to straighthood discussion, ghosts are often seen as artistic or poetic lovers who would rather leave a trail of clues than tell you where to meet your coffee. Or meet for coffee, I'm sorry. While some find this to be flighty and irritating, others can be charmed by the old school romance and mystery of dating a phantom. Just like ghosts, mummies, and Bigfoot, mummy and vampire are both variations on the four main creature types. However, unlike common undead spirits, both mummies and vampires are incredibly dangerous, and a romantic relationship with either of these creatures should be avoided at all costs. Mummies and vampires are very different from one another. As well, however, I included them in a single section to further illustrate the point that neither of these creatures' variations should be dating for the same reason. If you become romantically involved with either of these strange beasts, there is a very, very likely probability that you will become either a mummy or a vampire, or worse, a transformation that is irreversible as far as modern science is concerned. While this process is common fantasy for many of the sexually adventurous, in reality is a very spacious consequence that can ruin your life forever, as described in my best-selling short story, Vampire Night Bus Pounds My Butt. I'm going to skip that one as well, because I plan to read most of these books on this channel, because I think that actually sounds like a really fun idea to have a spin-off shit. If you do find yourself drawn to this fantasy, the best way to cope is through mummy or vampire-based erotica, or through roleplay with a partner. In this manner, you can express yourself sexually without being put in any real danger. For simple vampire roleplay, fake plastic teeth are available in any costume store at a very reasonable price. Meanwhile, toilet paper rolls can provide enough wrapping to enjoy multiple sexual sessions as a spooky mummy. Now the next one's gonna get really deep. I'll see you all next time. Love you all. Thanks. Take care.